Going on, brother?
Nothing much, man. How are you?
I'm okay. I keep thinking about that text you sent me earlier this week. We didn't really get much of a chance to talk about it because I've been just missing you just by a couple minutes. But
the Microsoft thing,
yeah,
right?
yeah. You said that they bought up Activision and Blizzard. I'm just kind of wondering what the hell that's going to mean for.
So I watched like some videos on it and stuff, and so it's Microsoft buying Activision.
Right, Activision and Blizzard.
Well, Blizzard is like a sub company under Activision.
Okay.
Right.
So they're just adopting all of these.
Right. And then also,
subsidiaries.
Right.
Okay.
And then there's like a couple smaller like studios because it's all studios.
Right. Isn't like Ravensoft and Demonware,
Infinity Ward.
Okay.
And then like Blizzard. There's King, which does
I've never heard of that.
Well, they do the Candy Crush games, the mobile games.
Okay, like on your phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do
so
that.
That's got some considerable reach. This purchase.
Right. So I watched some videos and done just to kind of see like how the deal's playing out.
Okay.
And apparently, first it doesn't start off till 2023. So that's when it starts if it goes through. Apparently, like the government has to, like, go through the contract of the sale.
Okay.
To because I guess it's happened before, but I think Amazon years ago went through something similar to where a company's buying all these other small companies into one.
Okay.
So that's kind of like what I'm seeing. Like
it's like the Blob. Like you just become it, and it just
right.
It's an amorphous.
So
figure.
So like when it first came to light, it was huge news, but
right.
It kind of died down a little bit.
Well, it made me wonder because like I have a PlayStation kind of thing. So like, what does this kind of mean for like games in the future? Like, am I gonna have to get you think I'm gonna have to get an Xbox like next generation around? Like all these people that just bought PS5s and stuff like that. That's
I see. So I can see it in both ways. So I'll kind of go both ways to how they can do it.
Okay.
So
both ways.
So for instance, let's talk about like what they did with Halo, right? Xbox in itself.
Okay.
It's only on Xbox and PC.
Right.
PlayStation doesn't have any rights to it. They
Grand Theft Auto was like that for a while. PlayStation, and then it integrated.
Right. So.
But they never did that with Halo.
I could see a point where, because you got to remember Xbox and PC, so you do get those two platforms because they're kind of they're one.
Wait, Microsoft, yeah, just computers initially, so
right. So even though like they're not singled out because they still have the PC gamers.
Okay.
But I could see a point where they're like, yeah, it's only on Xbox. Like kind of back in the day, how it was only on Xbox 360, how they had that label on the game. So I can't see them going through on that route. But I have a feeling, especially with Activision, and how the past couple years Call of Duty has been cross-platform, I could see them still sticking with that because you got to remember nowadays how there's so much more money into video games. It's not just like that.
Yeah.
It's not just back in the day where you just bought a game and $60 that was it. Now you have battle passes, skins, and all that other stuff. The marketplace.
Right.
And I don't see them saying we're going to close those people out either.
Well, of course, yeah. All the in-app purchases are.
So I've heard people make the argument that they may then just charge more. So, for instance, like, let's just say for PlayStation players who love Halo, or would they pay $120 for that copy instead of the original $60? They might do something like that to where, okay, if you want to still play Call of Duty, for PlayStation players, it may be $80 just for the basic copy, or whatever. It's really hard to tell on which way they can go because I can literally.
I didn't even pay the $60 for Vanguard, so I don't think I'd pay the $80 for whatever's next.
I called it.
I know.
I told all you guys, It's really hard. It's really hard to see which way they go because I can literally see them go both ways. But I can't see them be like, they want people to buy more Xboxes, PCs,
Well, sure, yeah.
So I can see that where they're going to own those rights. But again, it's going to be very hard to, if they're buying all these studios, to then just be like, you can only buy Xbox or PC. Because then it's really hard for that deal to go through.
Yeah.
Unless if you kept it... Now, I will tell you this, what I do see happening, definitely. You know how, like, PlayStation has exclusives for Call of Duty, for instance, right? Like, so if you own a PlayStation, you get exclusive skins, you get, whatever, like, the map packs, the whatever. It used to be like you can get stuff early.
Right.
I could see Xbox then owning the,
but specifically for Xbox players get this
instead,
early
instead
access
of it just being for PlayStation, it just would be flipped.
Right.
But I think with so many studios now, if it was just Activision and Blizzard, or maybe if it was just Call of Duty, let's just say, just that single game brand.
Okay.
I could then see that it could only be on Xbox, but with this many companies under the Activision
right, they want to branch out.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for it to pass the deal. Of then also, it's only going to be for Xbox PC players.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because for something this big, because it's like $69 billion. I don't.
Nice.
I know, nice. I don't see, and the government has to get involved for whatever reason. But I get it because it's they don't want a monopoly.
Because it's a deal. Anything that happens, they're like, hey.
Right, but it's kind of like the Amazon thing. Like, what if Amazon was buying, all the grocery stores and then, all the, I don't know, Costco's and,
It's like Demolition Man. Like, the Taco Bell was the only restaurant to survive the franchise wars. Now every restaurant is Taco Bell.
Right, or what if, like, the Taco Bell brand start buying Wendy's and McDonald's and,
right.
So at some point,
then it's just a monopoly. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So, but I do see...
If they're all working together, I mean, it kind of ends up being that way, but just with the different brand names on it, but all the same people are making deals.
But I will tell you this, though. I do see...
We live in a society.
There is some I can see some benefits to it. So, for instance, Microsoft does have a stable company, right? They're pretty smart. And so even though Activision's still going to be Activision, they still have to turn in all their work and stuff to Microsoft, right?
Right. I mean, they're going to own it.
So, for instance, Activision itself had shareholders and time limits to put in games. Okay. To put out games at a certain date, whether it's finished, unfinished. That's why.
Yeah, that's what you were saying on the New Year's Eve.
But with Microsoft, they're so big and so fortified that I could see them telling their shareholder like I could see them if the game's not finished or complete or meet a certain standards, that they would have more clout than just those independent studios to be like, we're going to wait a couple more
You'll
weeks
wait for us,
or a month,
kind of thing.
Right, because they want to put out high quality games. I can see more of that.
If that does come to fruition, that would be
because they're in it because they're in it for the long run. They're not worried about making as much money on the release date. They're in for the long run. Where these smaller studios, they're strictly on the release date. So I can see some benefits to it. Not like I said, I get like the same sense of like Amazon, how Amazon was trying to buy up like UPS and FedEx and just to be the independent sole carrier. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I mean,
ain't gonna let it happen.
Huh?
The government won't let it happen. Allegedly.
They might.
Allegedly.
They let a lot of things go out.
Well, speaking of games, man, I don't know if you watched a whole lot of football this weekend or recapped some of it.
It was rough week.
Rough week for your boys. Let me just start there. Let's get that out of the way and rip the Band-Aid off.
Okay.
The Buffalo Bills.
Looking good.
Just steamrolled 47-17.
Yep.
Dude, Josh Allen's really showing his wheels. He was pretty mobile that game. I was surprised. I I did see, and I know you mentioned it too on the New Year's Eve episode, was the dildo incident flying in, and this time I saw
it's a Buffalo tradition.
This time I saw it.
And it's only the 2 times that it happened is only at a Patriots game.
Right. Like Kendrick Bourne gets a touchdown pass, and he even points it out to the ref. Like they turn, he's high fiving his teammate. He makes a turn, and he's just like, yo. And they just, and it's right there, and then of course it cuts away like real quick. But you see it.
So a couple things on that game. First, there was an interesting stat that the Bills broke, which they had 7 consecutive, all their possessions, pretty much the perfect game.
Perfect offensive,
Every possession that they had, they scored a touchdown. Mm-hmm. So...
No punts, no turnovers.
Right. But the last drive, the only reason why they didn't convert it because they were kneeling down.
Right, yeah. So ultimately to the end, you don't even need to keep going.
I will tell you this. I'm happy to see new teams kind of be in the fray. It's not just the same old team. Right. I will say I'm very surprised that the Patriots even made it this far because just with their roster, and especially what happened last year, I didn't think they were even going to be...
And Mac Jones looks like he had ants in his pants, man. He was throwing high.
He's a rookie.
He was throwing high.
He's a rookie.
He was a bit jumpy.
Look, I'm not going to say he's the next Tom Brady. It's just not happening. But I think he could be a decent quarterback. Yeah. Way better than Cam Newton or whatever other fuck. I mean, I'm just saying. But
wasn't back for long.
It was a tough loss, but I just... Again, I have hope. I can see, I could see a work in progress. I'm not, I wasn't, look, if any Patriots fan thought that they were going to be in the championship or the Super Bowl, you're out of your fucking mind. I didn't even think that.
It's Fantasy Island. But, dude, Micah Hyde had an amazing interception. I think Nelson Aguilar was the intended receiver.
Yeah.
It was like a Willie Mays.
He's a fucking bum. They're all bums. It's just all the receivers of New England. They're all fucking bums.
It was amazing play on Hyde. On his effort, than I would say on Aguilar being able to take it away. Like he just comes out diagonally through it because another corner was already on him, and he just.
Another game was the Bucks and Eagles. Bucks fans down here.
The boys were live streaming that at work. I was at work while that was happening. Once it hit 31-0, we stopped watching.
But look, even going into the game, I never was like, "Oh, dude, the Eagles might win." No. I mean. And it's funny, during the game they were playing the fucking old Super Bowl when it was the Patriots and Eagles and the recent one with Nick Foles when he won, and so they were playing that.
It just went ridiculous.
Yeah,
some of the videos of the aftermath of in Philly when they won were hilarious. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, they know how to party. They're ridiculous because that's their whole point: is that they're the scum of the earth, as fans, and they love it. You can go ahead and talk shit to their face and call them that, and they'll be like, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah,
that's us.
Yeah, they don't have a good reputation, but I mean, look.
Well, they were getting into it with the Bucks fans, apparently. Yeah. You know how the Bucks put the Tampa Bay banner like over the end zones at the beginning of the game, and they're doing the thing? Well, on one end, I guess in the corner, it was a bunch of Philly fans, and they weren't going to let them do it. Yeah, they weren't even going to do that. Like, it was the tension in the crowd apparently was pretty high, and it was like a whole brawl started in that little corner because they wouldn't let the fans go out, And so hats off to the Bucks for shutting that down real quick because apparently the Bucks fans, of course, when you're getting that sort of a taste at 31-0 over them, coming back as reigning Super Bowl champ.
Right.
And having Tom Brady do what he does, and him and Mike Evans together.
About time Mike Evans have done something. I mean, dude, because he's been quiet all year. Have you been seeing the video? Because they're making a big deal about it of when Bruce Arians hit one of the players on the helmet. He smacked him on the helmet. It was during a fumble recovery or something.
Is that for a good job or not so good?
No.
Get your head in the game kind of slap?
Well, no, because there was a pile, whatever. And I guess there's a rule that if a player was to touch a ref or move a ref to get to put on the to jump in the pile, whatever.
Okay.
That
you can't touch an official.
Right, but
I mean that's in any sport. Yeah, as far as I know.
There's a rule when there's a pile you can't like jump in late or something.
Okay, yeah, weird. That makes sense. Like what you're already not there. What business do you have being there when they're trying to whistle it down and clear it?
And I was told it because I watched videos of it, of like sports shows, but I can't really remember the exact reason why. But the player was coming in late, and Bruce Arians, all he did was came running out the field, was yelling, and just smacked him on the head. He has a helmet on, okay? He wasn't like, and just to get him to back off. Yeah. And everyone's making a big deal.
I haven't seen that at all, so I don't know who everybody is, man. I'll have to check it out. I was going to say.
But, everybody's making a big deal about it, like, oh my God, like, they're, Shannon Sharp, he said on the show, like, if he ever smacked me, I'd kill him right there on the, I'm like, can we just stop being pussies? Like, I didn't. Like, unless if that player himself is flipping the fuck out over it.
I mean, I get that the range of making the kind of money that you're making, and you are the star because you are the product, and, coaches doing that so to get some sort of sense of extra entitlement, because, like, even playing sports growing up, like, the coach was kind of like, like a scary version of dad, it's like a dad that's not your dad. You're like, and sometimes it was my dad that was my little league coach. Like, you're towing the line, like, and I don't know. I think it's, in college, I guess now that, that the players can really capitalize on financial gains, that you're probably going to start to see a bit more of that sort of,
It just
Antonio Brown doing what he did. But
you're
going to see more of this sort of like,
he's just an old school coach, and we're just all pussified.
Suck it up.
Days, and
you did the wrong thing. He's calling. That's his job.
Yeah.
He's the coach.
It wasn't like he was just standing there and the coach just ran out on the field and just started beating his ass. I mean, it was somewhat of a validated if you hear the rule, which we'll watch after. I can't think of it.
Okay. Did you see Shaq Barrett's with his one-handed interception? Little tip up to himself.
No, I didn't.
Oh, man.
I just, listen.
Big boy can move.
Speaking of refs, I did see the ending because I was out at a restaurant when the game was on of the 49ers and Cowboys. And I saw the end where, Cowboys were making a drive, and then, the ref comes in and, in the middle of the pile, they're trying to spike it real quick, and, they couldn't do it in time because the ref had to touch the ball, whatever.
Right.
Listen, on paper, 49ers should not have won. Dallas should have steamrolled. I don't care what win streak the Niners
I was worried about Dallas all year long, and then I'm like...
But someone said... but they say it best, so... this is Dallas being Dallas. Every time you think that they're going to be good, it's not even a choke. It's something fucking crazy that rarely happens, but it only happens. Like, how many times have you seen that on a final drive? That
he was like 25, maybe 30 yards behind the play when it ended.
Yeah.
So then they're trying to do the hurry up offense, and and then they're already set. Like getting ready into formation, and then he's like, "Oh, excuse me."
Right.
Like he's running into Dak Prescott. He's running into the center, and then he, like he said, he's got to touch the ball. So then he's like,
"That is a rule."
That is a rule. But that first spot, there's a lot of interesting spots too in this game. He goes to like spot it, and I think you were. No, right there. Yeah, he doesn't even know.
He's fighting with the center. That's at least 2 seconds.
And that takes up the time. Right. There's not even enough to spike it and get you a play.
But again, it's just another, like, only a Cowboys. Like, it's only for the Cowboys.
Y'all still them boys?
So, it's just, like, when I saw that, it's just, like, not a surprise. And I know, and then, like, fans were throwing trash at the refs.
Oh, they were
crying. And then Dak Prescott came out and said, "Yeah, man, I support the fans for doing that. They're just speaking their mind." And apparently, the coach even came out and was like, that they were going to put a second back on the clock. Apparently, they were going to put a second back on the clock, give them one more play, because they were, like, at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, it was getting down to it.
But they just...
It was a great play to get to that, hurry up attempt.
Right. Like I said, Cowboys should not have lost that game. But good news for your Packers, though. They do get to play the 49ers, which I will tell you that's going to be not an easy game, but...
It's not going to be easy, but I feel pretty confident that the Packers... I got a feeling it's going to be Tampa Bay, Green Bay, NFC Championship again.
Really?
I feel like this is where we're at.
Again.
battle of the Bays, and this time, Green Bay's coming out on top.
All right. I don't think that. I think it's going to be Green Bay and
I'd be nervous
and the Rams.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the Rams.
Really? Well,
I really do.
And that would be interesting, too, because, I mean, the Super Bowl is being hosted in L.A., so to a degree, you got to wonder if that team has that fire of, like how the Bucs did last year. Like, we are hosting it in our city, and then they got it, and then they won it. It was huge.
Here's how you know it's going to be completely rigged, okay? You ready? If the Rams fucking make it to the Super Bowl, then it has to be rigged. Then it has to be rigged completely. Because then it's just like... But I'm going to tell you this right now. If Aaron Rodgers does not make it to the Super Bowl, it's really going to look bad for him.
Oh, yeah.
I've
had about enough already, but you know what? We're still rolling on like we always do, right. So how can I really bitch?
You're winning games, and he's probably going to be MVP again. But
right.
At the end of the day... What matters most? Rings.
With that ring, yeah.
And he does not have a good playoff record. Yeah. Let's just call it how it is. So he's a great player, but if he does not make it to the Super Bowl, it's not looking good for him. Yeah. It's just really not. But I think it's going to be a Green Bay Rams. I really do. I think the Bucs, they're just very thin on offense. Oh, yeah. Their defense is thin and shaky. They have
Philly wasn't great, but Brady got sacked 3 times.
Right.
So that's something to consider.
Yeah, they're just thin. The Bucs defense isn't as great as they were last year. And I'm telling you, they're the Rams. And congratulations to Stafford. Like I'm glad that he got, he's starting to win now and be on a winning team.
I know we had talked about that
forever. You should have done this shit fucking 5 years ago. But whatever.
We had talked about that about a month ago, and it's like you look at a guy like that, and it's like, oh, it's not okay. And then he's lighting it up, and they're like, oh wow, and it's like, yeah, I've always been a good quarterback. Like, right. I'm doing in Detroit. Like, what do you think?
Right.
Losing.
Yeah, but he's doing good. Those Rams offense is looking good. Odell's looking good. But on the AFC, you got Bills and Chiefs. And you got Bengals and Titans. Who do you think? Who do you think? I think we both can agree that we're going to see the Packers in the Super Bowl. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's looking like that. But AFC, out of those 4 teams, Bills, Chiefs, Bengals, Titans, do we see a Chiefs rebeat?
No. I think it's Buffalo's time. Although
the Bengals are looking fucking good.
You can't count Tennessee out. They're just quietly. I feel like a lot of people.
And Derrick Henry's came back. He's clear.
So I can't. I got to see that game to get a good feel for. But I don't know, man. I like Buffalo. I like Buffalo for the AFC to represent the Super Bowl. To be honest with you,
it would be a Buffalo Green Bay game in LA. I mean, you just can't get Yeah, I mean, I would like to see the Titans because I think they've you can show that they've been building smart, and a lot of those players are they're not putting up stats, but they're winning the games like old school football. But I can see the Bills, but honestly, I think the Bengals might make a run.
Yeah,
I think they might do.
Lexi told me that they got a good
fucking mind.
Lexi told me that Vegas got ripped off. That the refs they won by 1 touchdown, and that touchdown was on a missed call from the ref. Like apparently that ref and that crew is not working the rest of the postseason.
I didn't see that.
I didn't watch it. She did because she's a Browns fan, and you would assume that by proximity you'd go for Cincinnati. Not her.
Yeah.
Not her. She's like, fuck that.
Well, that's a rival. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, so she's not true blue to the end. But, she doesn't like the Chiefs either. So, unfortunately, she sent me a picture of herself wearing a Pittsburgh Steelers jersey before that game. And I had to I said, delete this. And she's like, what? Don't I look? I said, yeah, you look cute. But what you're wearing is hideous.
There was no chance. There was no chance.
What you're wearing is hideous.
There's no chance.
I will say, it seemed like an offensive struggle for the first half. It was pretty quiet.
There was no way. First of all, Pittsburgh should not have.
Right. No, I agree.
I'm just telling you.
There should have been a tie, and then they would have been. And Big Ben could have gone with his head held high. They did attempt on that last drive just a weak try to get him one more touchdown.
Yeah.
You know, and then they called a timeout with 11 seconds left. The whole crowd starts booing the hell out of him.
Right.
And then it was, a little pass over the middle. They only had maybe like 10 yards to go. Guy gets stuffed by 5 defenders at the 4-yard line. They were not having it. So it was pretty funny to see.
I saw a funny meme for the Chiefs that it had a picture of the Titantron and with the fireworks going off, and they go that we apologize that we ran out of fireworks for scoring so many points that they just ran out of fireworks.
Sorry guys, we know you paid your money's worth, right. But so we blew them all up.
I thought that was funny, but I hear you. I still think the Bengals might do it. Yeah. How do you feel on with this new playoffs? How it's only the first seed that gets a bye. It's not the second. It's just the first.
I did notice that. I don't care for that.
You don't care either way, or you want it?
That's too many games on it. Just keep the wild card for the ones that are really kind of fighting to get in.
So you think it should have just been the second seed team also gets a bye?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean.
And that's just me.
I would like that, but if you kind of look at it, though, for instance, Dallas, right, they would have had a bye, right, but they didn't, and the 49ers were able to get in, advance. I think, who else? There was another team that had another seed, I think, in the AFC, but I can't think of the game right now. I think it was whoever the Titans played, I believe. The week before, I think it was the same scenario. But it was a scenario, both times. I think with Arizona and the Rams, I think Arizona would have had the second seed, or no, the Bucks. I'm getting anyway.
Go Bucks.
The point is that I'm making is I can see it from the NFL standpoint where it gives the lower seed chance.
If you beat that second seed,
more upsets,
you absolutely deserve it,
more upsets are upon to happen, which means more, eyes on the screen and makes it more
creates the drama,
right? So I see
it how TNT promotes basketball playoffs,
right. So I can kind of see it that. That's the reason why they did that. Plus, we have less preseason games and one extra week. So I kind of get it.
It fills back in.
It's just weird. Okay. It takes that, and I'll tell you one thing I can't adjust to is this fucking single digits for the defensive players on the field. Safeties can wear number 8. I
don't know, man.
Running backs wearing number 2.
As long as there ain't any repeats, I don't
weird.
care.
I can't, why can't you just stick to how, if you're running back, pick the 20s or the 40s. Why are you picking 3? It looks weird.
For a fan, I guess it'd be easier to spot if you could from the stands,
Well, I know
if those are the assigned numbers kind of thing, then, yeah.
Well, because they're that was my college number, and it brings me good luck, and blah, blah, blah. I can't really buy into that, but I'm just saying, the jersey, the position, and your number, it just is not matching up. And I don't like it. I just don't like it.
Well, you know what that means? With all these changes, that we're getting old, man.
I am.
We're getting old.
Dude, once it hits fucking 6 o'clock, dude, I'm ready for bed.
We're getting old. I've been ready for bed.
I'm
usually ready for bed, though, 30 minutes after I wake up in the morning. Just...
Yeah, I'm shorter than that.
More sleep. Well, because I did see all over the internet, and I know it wasn't your music, and it wasn't my music either when I was in high school, but I'm sure you were aware of it. They have announced, it's called the When We Were Young concert. It's being held in Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Festival Grounds on October 22nd of this year, 2022.
Wear your mask.
Well, apparently there are little to no COVID restrictions, actually. No vaccination checks or anything like that. They put out a whole disclaimer or whatever. It's basically they made the statement of just it's on you.
Oh, wow. Crazy, huh?
They did that.
Just like a normal fucking life. Okay.
But it's weird. Packed full, and this is, I'm going to try not to get mad. It's packed full of bands and artists that are what they would refer to as like the emo and screamo bands. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
The hair straightener, the girl jeans with the strategic rips, the guy liner.
No.
I'd see them around school like they made fingerless gloves out of their little sister's Hot Topic tube socks, and they're like
the baggy fucking jeans with the 8,000 fucking chains on it.
No, those kids were cool. The goth kids even looked at them and were just like...
They were snacking on... Dude, they thought fucking paper was delicious out of their fucking notebook, dude.
It's made from trees, lots of fiber.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, dude. I can't...
Not the same group of people, though. Not the same crowd.
It's fucking 100 degrees.
Right, they were the emo kids that were always whining all the time and cut my wrist, black my eyes over that stupid bullshit.
It's the same thing. Emo, goth are pretty much the same thing.
No, because goth, they're more nihilistic. They understand that it's fucking shit and there's no fucking point. That's even a front, too. That's even a front, too. But they're into some weirder shit.
They're the same group.
Definitely. But they always had these really wordy band names.
Okay.
Now, I will say, the only two bands that I would even want to see that are at this show are AFI, and the only reason I'd want to see them is because their All Hallows EP was phenomenal. Their early shit was good. Then it got a little...
What was AFI stand for?
A Fire Inside.
Okay. All right.
See what I mean? An Alkaline Trio, which I thought was kind of a... Who threw that one in there?
Right.
But I figured I'd give you a little thing, because there's 50 plus bands and artists.
Is there any...
It's one day.
Okay.
So, breaking that down...
Is it a certain genre? It's just that punk, emo drama.
It's not punk. Don't say that, because I'm going to flip the fucking table. I'm tired of people saying that it's pop punk. Even to me is just like it negates itself. It just
I don't know, slitting your wrist. I don't know what.
No, I'd be slitting your wrist.
Yeah, you ain't doing shit.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be back. Yeah,
you better calm the fuck down. You ain't doing shit.
But even that was, and people were just like going around cracking each other's heads in. You're all angry and everything like that. It's like it's an energy. It's a release. It's just a force. I thought it was a form of rock. Yeah. It's different. It's different.
I'm trying to understand. Okay. Is it just one genre?
This, and I would call it emo. I would say it's an emo concert.
I was just trying to figure out the genre.
Okay.
I wasn't like trying to like make fun of like I just don't know. I didn't know if it was like the festival that they have out in California.
What was it, Coachella? Or
yeah, how they had like that.
It's not like a hippie dippy.
Well, that's all I was asking. No. I don't know, but enlighten me.
Okay, so 50 plus bands. It's in one day.
Okay.
3 stages. So for the time frame that they have for 50 plus groups on 3 separate stages means that you're probably going to miss, if you want to go, you're probably going to miss somebody.
Right.
Because who knows if there's 2 different groups that you wanted to see and they're playing on 2 different stages at the same time. Plus with all those groups trying to squeeze in time on 3 separate stages, that kind of might equate to like 10, 15 minute sets. It's pretty fucking weak.
Right. Do you see like a Travis Scott incident there, or do you think it's going to be running clean?
Well,
if so, that's pretty sad.
Here's the thing, though. The people that are putting it on are none other than Livenation.
Oh, well, they're fucking...
That did Astroworld.
They're fucking experts.
Oh, man, you figured it out before I even got to tell you. You already knew where it was going. You already knew.
They're fucking experts. Well, so be prepared.
You gotta wake up pretty early in the morning to pull one over on him. Yeah. Well, the ticket prices are gonna blow your mind too. There's 3 tiers in each level.
Of what? What level?
Pre-sale general admission. Tier 1, $244.99 for one, and that's just the basic general admission. You don't get anything special. Everything else, you get stickers or maybe a T-shirt. Tier 2 is $234. Tier 3 is $244. Then general admission plus, tier 1 at $399.99.
What's the plus?
You get like a little bit of access to maybe some food and food vouchers and shit like that.
Well, you know what? When you get these buying bucks, you got to spend it on something. So I guess why not pay it for this concert? I'm already...
Tier 2, $409. Tier 3, $419. The VIP...
For each person.
Yes, that's just one ticket. VIP tier 1, $499.99. Tier 2, $509.99. Tier 3, $519.99. And then if you want to really go nuts, VIP Cabana, $12,500. And this isn't including fees, mind you. So there's that to be added on. That comes with you get a little roped off tent with access to one stage, basically. You get like 2 complimentary bottles of liquor and a bottle of champagne. Whoop-de-doo. Yeah.
If I'm dropping that kind of cash, I'd rather go to the Super Bowl in LA.
Yeah. The halftime show that you're going to get there with Dr. Dre, Mary J. Blige,
I'd rather watch
Kendrick
the
Lamar.
From last year, that was fucking horrible. And especially, there's not even like anybody like big, right? There's no big names in this concert.
There are some big names in this concert. There's one right in the middle that you would at least know, even though you don't. Avril Lavigne will be there. I was like, that should be enough to make you not want to go. But they will still go.
That's the big superstar we're bringing in.
The millennials are really holding on to any shred of high school nostalgia that they can.
I've tried to bring back Soulja Boy. We just to crank that fucking 8,000 different times.
Woo!
Just crank everything.
So I just want to play a quick little game with you before we close up. I know I came with something because all these groups have these wordy, annoying names like, from Autumn to Ashes, and Between Home and Serenity, and Beneath the Buried, and it's like a fucking sentence,
right?
And it's some stupid bullshit that doesn't make fucking sense. To try like some Egyptian cryption, as you put last week, some nonsense. So I have 12 names here. 6 are bands that will be playing this show, and 6 are just random things that I put together.
Oh God.
Yeah. So. You're going to have to guess.
Punishment?
There's no punishment.
Am I
going
to get kicked in the balls? Or what?
No. I'm going to tally this up. So let's start. Let's begin. Okay. Is this a band that will be playing the We Were Young festival? Or is this just some nonsense that I made up farting around? My Chemical Romance.
Oh, that's a band.
There you go. I figured I'd give you... See, now you kind of understand where I'm going. Okay. My Chemical Romance. We have a band. There's one for Will.
I know some genres. Okay. I'm just saying. Okay.
Motionless in White.
Band.
Correct.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That's a band. That's a band.
Fuck yeah.
A Scream from the Void.
Not a band.
That is not a band. Yeah, there you go, man. Shit. You're doing pretty fucking good. All right. A Call Upon the Righteous.
Band.
I made that shit up.
Okay.
I made that shit.
That sounded pretty close.
I didn't. I'm kind of proud of myself because it's really that fucking stupid. Story of the Year.
Not a band.
That is a band.
I was literally thinking of it.
It's okay, man. It's okay. You're doing pretty good.
These fucking bands. You know what? It's better than the fucking Lil this and Lil that.
Little Story of the Year.
Jesus.
Alone in Misery.
Oh, that's a band.
Not a band. No.
God,
that's what I mean. This shit is so... It's a very pathetic crowd that we're gonna... I know I'm gonna get some flack for that because a lot of people... Sad, I love that! That was my time!
So it's just like everybody's crying.
Yeah, pretty much. And, yeah. Chariots of the Sunrise.
Band.
Not a band. Bring Me the Horizon.
Band.
Yes.
I'm surprised Limp Bizkit is or Slipknot. Slit their wrist in there. I mean, I'm just saying, like bring those. Those are childhood bands. Blink 182, Green Day. That's what. No, I'm saying if you're gonna bring some childhood bands, like, are they more like rock, not really like emo? I guess.
Yeah, Blink 182 is emo to me, but if that's where like I didn't want to get off on a tangent where people are like, that's a punk band, and I just want to like take something and smash it. Okay, Gather the Light.
Not a band.
Correct. Not a band. Good job. Dance with the Shadows.
Oh, that's a band all day.
Not a band. Not a band. I almost wrote Dance with the Spirit Shadows, but I felt like that was going to be a little too... You would have been like, dude, shut the fuck up. Dance with the Spirit Shadows.
It wouldn't surprise me that that'd be a band.
That's going to be our band, Dance with the Spirit Shadows.
Jazz hands.
Pierce the Veil.
Not a band.
That is a band. That is a band.
It's fucking stupid.
That's all. That's everything I got.
It's fucking stupid.
That's the 6.
It's fucking stupid.
Oh, you look so sad. You know, I'll give you a prize anyway.
It's fucking stupid.
Because I don't want it.
Aww.
It reminds me of Mubi.
Oh, I see. So I'm getting your hand-me-downs that your girlfriend gets you. Okay. I see. Yeah, that's what it is.
No.
It's a hand-me-down that your girlfriend
Look,
gave
you can do the sequence. She didn't give me this. She's probably going to be mad that I didn't give her this.
Oh, okay. That is kind of cool. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. Like, you ever had like a pillow that does that? You can't help it.
And then all the fucking shit pops off and...
Well, then don't just be gentle with it.
I'm just saying. I'll be gentle.
Be gentle with it.
Thanks, but it's, it's cute.
It is.
But, whatever. I can't. I tried.
It's all good.
I just, whatever.
It's all good. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to this weekend's wildcard games. I'm off this Sunday, so I'll be watching the Bucks and Chargers. I won't get to see...
It's Bucks and Rams. But
Rams, L.A., Chargers, Rams.
I'm
not used to them being back in L.A., so when I think L.A., I'm like, yeah.
I want them saying St. Louis. It just made,
it messes with me still. That's what I mean, getting old.
I
remember when...
You're not going to watch Green Bay 49ers? That's your team.
I got to work. Hopefully.
Oh, that's on what, Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I will be working, but maybe we'll live stream it at work if it's not too busy. Like we did the Bucks game on Sunday.
Green Bay should win that.
I agree, but they've lost to the 49ers before. I think that was when Kaepernick was their quarterback before they lost to Seattle in that Super Bowl. They lost the NFC Championship to Kaepernick and the 49ers, so...
Yeah.
That's what goes through my mind.
And then they lost to Joe Flacco and the Ravens in the Super Bowl, so, good, Well, hey, listen, football fans, have a fun weekend watching the games, and all you gamers out there, there could be light at the end of the tunnel, but I highly doubt that, so, but we can dream as gamers, because games right now suck.
Yeah.
So, that's really all I got, so...